with Tim Rosenau of Toby Mac here in Indianapolis, and I had a second to talk to Tim and kind of run through his gear a little bit and see what he's using on this tour. And Tim, can you kind of walk us through your pedal board and see what you're using, and we'll check out the amps and stuff too?
Here's my pedal board. I come in through the SGI unit from radio for my wireless, and then I go all the way over here into my. Actually, I go into my compressor before my volume pedal, because I like to actually be able to still have some dynamics when I'm using the compressor. So then I go from the SGI to the Ego compressor into my volume pedal and into my wah pedal, and then I go into my overdrives.
Which wah is that?
This is the, I wasn't sure if you wanted me to talk about other pedals.
Yeah, of course, man.
So this volume, this is the volume I've settled into, and it has endured the road for many, many years, actually. It's from Visual Volume. It's called a Visual Volume from Visual Sound.
Yeah.
Same guys that do the Route 66 and Jekyll and Hyde.
Those are great volume
those kind of
pedals,
things. Yeah. Great company. So that's the volume pedal that I use. And then I go into the 535Q 18 volt wah pedal that is working really well now after I replaced the switch, thankfully. And then I go into the dual fusion. This is kind of my main overdrive, distortion. A lot of what you hear is coming from this.
Right.
I use the right side, which is actually the Euphoria Circuit, if I'm correct, as a real light, transparent. Excuse me, I'm going to stand up for a second.
Sure.
I'm not as young as I used to be. I use that as more of a light overdrive, a lot of times in the neck position, up high, it gets that kind of real sparkly, spanky sound. And then the left side is the Paisley Circuit, is that correct?
Yep.
Yeah. One of the best overdrives I've ever heard. Just that wonderful, transparent, it can be really honky. There's a throaty switch on it that I'm actually using the throaty side. Tonight you'll hear a hymn called "He Paid It All" that I do some country. I try to do some country licks. I'm not like you, but I do some country licks with a Telecaster, and
cool.
I just leave that on the whole time, and it's awesome. It's unbelievable. There's tons of comments about that one. So from out of that, I go into the Sovereign Distortion, which is my modern high gain sound, is what I would call it. And I like to put it after this because for boosting, I like to put my transparent overdrives behind my high gains.
So do you cascade them? Do you run two at one
sometimes,
time?
for lead stuff, like you'll see me step out and do a solo with Colton. That's the Sovereign with the left side of the dual fusion behind it. And occasionally I stack these two, but that's really as low as I use the gain settings on those. It's really not that much.
Right.
Right.
And you're going into, let's see, you're going into two first.
Yes.
Two
first. I'm going into two first.
And then coming out one. That's the way the dual fusion set up right now. So that's cool.
Yep. And then I come out of the Sovereign into the Plexi Drive, and that's just it's just a wonderful, pretty big sounding overdrive. I would say compared to the Paisley, it's not as honky,
right?
But it still has that transparent overdrive sound that I love.
So you're using the Ego compressor first.
Yeah.
Is that just on clean stuff, or is it on clean and dirty stuff? And what type of songs?
What
songs are you using?
I leave it on quite a bit. I turn it off when I'm using the Sovereign because it's just too much.
Right.
There's just
too much compression.
Too much compression. It causes a lot of noise, and all that. But I use it a lot during the spanky, clean R&B stuff. I get an opportunity to do some of that during the show, and that's fun. And obviously during some country type things, it's weird to say that there's country going on during the show, but there's a little bit of that. And other than that, obviously maybe some lower gain solo stuff.
Right.
Whoa, almost fell. And And yeah, that's pretty much it. And as you can see, I use a pretty moderate setting.
Right.
It's pretty, I use the mix pretty low. It's weird, it's upside down because, I don't know, why is it upside down? I think it's upside down in case my wireless unit goes down and I have to go direct in.
Gotcha.
So, anyway, and then I go from, let's see, go ahead.
So from the Plexi Drive, we go into the M9.
Yep.
So what effects are you using on the M9?
Oh, I'm only using reverbs and delays on the M9. That's all I'm using. I use the analog mod, the kind of memory man thing. I love that. And I use kind of a really long analog echo. Sometimes during the show we have to do a guitar change and I just want noise happening during that time. So I'll hit that on. I got a dotted eighth delay, just a straight eighth delay for solo stuff.
Yep.
With the low end down a little bit. A fairly big spring reverb that I use occasionally to kind of wash things out, and then a shorter 63 spring reverb.
Gotcha.
You know, I don't love the plate on this. Sorry, I don't love the plate on it. I tried it, but it just, I don't know what it was. It was almost like it grabbed too much sound and pushed it out. So anyway, I never got it, but I like the springs, actually. So,
Cool.
yeah.